Yo, crypto is cooked. I'm gonna hide my face because it's kind of too dark to see me anyways. So you guys know I've been sharing ideas the past couple, maybe the past month, that Bitcoin could go back to all-time highs. Well, so far I've been proven wrong. That idea has been wrong. And I'm gonna explore the possibility of being very wrong, that price could go much lower. So I'm gonna look at a number of bearish things. The first was failure at the all-time high. Now, here's the thing. I mean, I was cautious here, but I thought, well, it's been 6 months, right? 6 months of downtrend, sentiment's bad. Maybe we could have our move up. Well, here's the thing is that bear markets can last a lot longer than people think. This one was a year. Let's look. This one was over a year. This one from top to bottom was 260 days. So these things can possibly last longer. We're at 180 days. It could go another 180 days, right? It's possible. Now, first thing is price has been under the 200 moving average for some time, which means it's in a downtrend, right? It's been a long time with a failure at the all-time highs, and something that doesn't look great is that ETH failed to even come close to all-time highs. It actually failed here at a low. It's making a lower high in the macro, which suggests the possibility of making a lower low, right? I kind of hate to say it, but does this not make sense from a high time frame? If our parabolic move up doesn't make a higher high, makes a lower high, shouldn't the ensuing move down make a lower low? It's possible. Solana, same thing, failed. Spending a lot of time under the 200 SMA. This support has gotten retested 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times now. Makes a lower high. Is it possible? Is it possible for price to make a lower low now? Is it possible? Okay, what else can we look at? Um, Lower lows, lower highs. Let's look at a couple things. Uh, yeah, I'm gonna look at CVD, and I want to look at a couple things here. Is there a possible some action happening, Bitcoin? Sharp move. Interesting. Guess if we could see price get back over here locally, it would be interesting, but ignore that for now. Now, if we look at CVD, let's go on a higher time frame. I want to look at, so CVD is sort of describing um, the behavior of spot traders, and we're seeing this downtrend. We had an uptrend, The ETF came in, and then we've been seeing steady selling. And this has allowed traders to be correct in shorting primarily because there just hasn't been a spot bid for 6 months. It's been primarily selling, right? So we did get that nice move up, and then it's just been down. Um, let's take a look at another indicator, the funding rate. So on one hand, negative funding is a sign that price should go higher because everybody's short. That hasn't been working great recently, though. Let's take a look. So we see, yeah, it's gone negative funding, but price hasn't really gone higher from there. If we look back to last August, similar sort of thing, price maybe more sideways until it started to move up. But this is the danger as funding gets negative and price continues down despite negative funding, right? Until some huge event, right? There was a huge event right here. There was a huge event in March 2020. There was a huge event at this bottom. We're not seeing anything like that show up on the chart, right? Some crazy bottom marker. Haven't seen that yet. So funding, yeah, it's been negative, but it could stay negative. It can stay negative. So a couple other things that are potentially bearish. Well, one, let's look at we're supposed to bounce off this low here, and maybe we still do, but it's kind of going the wrong way. ETHs, if it closed the day, it would actually close under it. And the suggestion from there is we would take this wick. Um, Same thing with Solana, we actually lost this. So the next level of support is actually down the wick low. Dog, come here, dog. Come here, Nalani. XRP, yeah, it's like, okay, if we don't hold the support, there's not a lot of structure until much lower for most of these, right? So I'm concerned that if they lose this low, for some of these we would go all the way back down to the wick low, right? So this, if this doesn't hold, much as possible, much lower would be the move. So I'm not saying for sure that needs to happen, but it seems possible. It's possible this is the exact bottom and we move up from here. I mean, if I wanted to be long, it would be at the bottom of this or down here, or you just let it go, right? But yeah, I mean, if ETH goes to a new low, what if Bitcoin has like a fib retracement to the golden pocket? That would put us under this back down to 38. I'm not saying that it has to happen, but it could happen. Now, if we look at the other investment assets, what's going on with the indices, I mentioned this with gold. Gold is in an uptrend. The problem, though, with gold, there's a big problem with gold, which may or may not play out. It kind of always plays out, though, eventually. So if we look at our COT indicator, we can see retail getting longer and longer and longer, or traders, and that commercial gold producers getting shorter and shorter and shorter. let's look at other times when the divergence was this extreme. The last time it was this extreme was March 2022, which was a major top in gold, which led to a almost a year-long bear market that had a couple nice rallies, but was basically down. And then if we go before that, we have March 2020, which honestly it didn't last very long, but caused a sharp move. And then we look at this. I'm looking for one of these extreme divergences. Right, you can see when the bands come together, there's a big moves up. When the bands are apart, there's moves down. So this is a pretty dangerous place for gold. And say that gold enters a bear market, that's not going to help the price of Bitcoin. It may or may not hurt it, but it's not going to help it. Um, Look at US 100. I mean, it's changed from up only for sure. And again, a problem is if Bitcoin's been relatively weak, what does it mean when the indices become weak? It's not really great. Um, US 30 is failing at all-time highs, but the other ones didn't even make it. I mean, they might rally from here, but I mean, the market's kind of changed, right? It was this nice up only pullback, up only. It's getting choppier, so yeah, stay safe out there, folks. There's a possibility of major downside, and good luck trading. Peace.